is a space in my heart where I find the truth. I find me in you, a truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite. Yeah, yeah,
Welcome, everyone. Can you hear me? Reverend Cindy is away. Tomorrow is Grady's birthday, so they're up in the Carolinas because little Grady has a dance recital today. And so they went up for that. And so I'm Reverend Peggy Hostetler, and Reverend Cindy asked me to lead the circle today. And I appreciate each of you being here and bearing with me because I've never led circle before. I've been here before at circle, but never led it. So if I goof up, you'll forgive me, right? Okay, our mission. We embody, and I can't read that. That's too small. I'm going to look at a different one. We embody and share truth principles and spiritual practices that empower us to awaken to the power and presence that lies within and all around us, so that we may facilitate spiritual healing and elevation of our individual and collective consciousness. And our vision, We are a thriving New Thought community dedicated to spiritual growth and practice, sacred activism, and the transformative love that reveals our interconnectedness and oneness. And our definition of sacred activism is, sacred activism is the intersection of consciousness and action. It is the place where prayer and service activate love and spiritual principles become lived practice. Sacred activism is how we show up as a beneficial presence in the world. And our values, and say these with me if you'd like. These are wonderful. I understand that this is something you all helped to create, and you're perhaps going to fine-tune it this year. So let's do that together. Wholeness of spirit, spiritual and personal growth, collaborative, synergistic community, abundance and prosperity, love and compassion, appreciation and gratitude, peace and balance, power of freedom, diversity and inclusion, generosity. Let's breathe all those in, shall we? And Erin has our announcements.
So we do have the Science of Mind magazine available in our bookstore. I think there's only 2 copies left. It has been changed so that it's like bi-monthly, and there's handy daily guides that are in there. You get a nice little affirmation, a little like a couple quotes to it's a good way to jumpstart your day. Also, we do have a Rent-A-Slide program where if you have an event or just want to put up a slide, just send good wishes to the community, you could always rent a slide, and that QR code that's with that will take you to the form to fill out. The QR code that's on the bottom is just to make sure that all of our membership information is up to date. So if there have been any changes, feel free to scan that and provide us with the most updated information. And Spirit Monthly newsletter that should have been out. If you have not received it, we do have a sign-up sheet over on the welcome table. You can also find it on our website as well, and I invite you all to check it out. And later on today, we are having a workshop with the wonderful Jennifer Moy with the Ebb of Life, and it is Sail Away Your Final Wishes. Would you like to say anything about it?
So we'll be talking a little bit about the super light subject of dying and what you want to do with your final days, weeks, and beyond. The final one is what's left after Bon Voyage. What is your legacy? So that's the next one, is legacy. But this time we're going to talk a little bit about different types of final disposition of your body, things to think about. And I also have the 5 wishes, which counts as a living will here in Florida, in many states. And I have some sample questions to just get you thinking about things you probably don't think about in your daily life.
Thank you very much. Okay, and on May 23rd, we are having a fundraiser for Joyful Expressions to go to Posse. We are having a taco bar and game night. It is $15 for adults and $10 for children. And I invite you all to come out and just have fun with all of us. It would be to the Posse Music Festival, which would be in Kansas City. Yes, the same place, be at Unity Village. And it was a fantastic experience last year, and we all got a lot out of it. And we're hoping to get more of that medicine and bring it back to share with all of you. That's a great way to meet other musicians in the New Thought and Posse arena. So can get information and ideas about new music to try. And then on Sunday, May 24th at 11, we are doing Building the Beloved Community, Rising Together with Donna Davis and Norma Anderson. So your Phoenix is Rising is going to be up on this stage and talking to you all. So that'll be exciting. For those who are not very familiar with what Donna and Norma do in their own personal business lives, they'll be able to explain that to you. And then on Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th, our wonderful Pam Brown, who is not with us today, she recently had her surgery on her shoulder. So lots of well wishes to Pam if she is watching. She is doing Roots of Remembrance from Grief to Grace Memorial Day Sound Healing Experience. And this is not just a Memorial Day thing. It's like if you've lost a loved one or have had an experience where you feel some sort of loss within yourself, it's a good way to address that and help move through that grief. And I invite you all to come join us. And then on Sunday, May 31st at 11, we're doing From Doubt to Divine Direction, a visioning workshop with Reverend Cindy Grimes. Now, the difference between visioning and a vision board is the vision board is what we envision for our lives. It's what we're trying to manifest into our lives. Visioning is a different process. It is part of the tradition here, and there are, I think, 5 different questions that are asked during the visioning process, and it's more about listening, and listening to source, listening to what you aren't consciously aware of, and answers could come as words, it could come as an image, could come as many different sensory experiences that kind of lead to whatever the answer is for the highest and best for whatever the question is that is being addressed. And it's a very, very interesting experience, and I welcome you all to give it a try if you've never done it. It's very, very, it's fascinating what comes through. And we are always looking for volunteers because this place runs on volunteers. Every single one of us that you see around here who helps out, like running the soundboard, welcoming people at the front door, and tending the gardens, all of us are volunteers, and there's only so many of us who are working to keep this place going, and anybody who is willing and interested in helping keeping things going and making things a little easier for all of us, when community comes together, it makes the work so much easier and so much more enjoyable. We have so much fun when we work together in groups. And so I invite you all to join us as a volunteer. Come on, there we go. And this is a reminder that we are also the hub. Like during the week, the building is not being used as the center, but is now being opened up to a more holistic kind of place. And says the hub offers restorative experiences, meaningful connection, and tools that support personal growth and collective well-being through shared workspace, wellness technologies, cultural events, and community gatherings. We just had 2 hub events yesterday. One was a really, really fascinating nutrition workshop presented by Aubrey. And last night we had a mantra and kirtan workshop, which was absolutely fascinating. I'd heard kirtans before, but never actually been to a live experience of that. That was very, very interesting. And I hope they come back. And today, we are having our Circle Sunday from doubt to deeper connection. And I will pass this back off to Reverend Peggy.
Let's give Erin a hand. She did a great job on announcements, didn't she? She did a wonderful job. And before I begin, I've asked Anton to read today's daily guide. She spoke about the Science of Mind magazine, and here we are with this wonderful topic from doubt to deeper connection, and today's daily guide really speaks to that. So, Anton.
Practice the art of allowing. This first quote is by Brian Tracy. Move out of your comfort zone. You can only grow if you are willing to feel awkward and uncomfortable when you try something new. The second quote by Ernest Holmes. Since the only life you can have is the life of the Spirit within you, you need but permit its radiance to flow through your thought into self-expression. That's from the book called This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes, on page 113. Now today's reading, Practice the Art of Allowing. I was on a walk with my neighbor, and she led us down a street I had never been on before. A traffic sign on the corner said, "No outlet," so I never ventured in that direction. It turns out at the end of the street there's a path that connects to another neighborhood. I realized I had been walking in the neighborhood for 2 years and had never explored that area. Isn't that similar to life? We may struggle on the same path over and over again, not realizing that the newness we're looking for or the answer to a question is just around the corner. Sometimes it takes someone with a different perspective to show us the way. Sometimes it takes a brief moment of courage to try something new. Oftentimes, I find that if I am willing to let go of my preconceived ideas or my attachment to wanting things to look a certain way, I can step back and allow something greater to be revealed. I have to resist the need to control the outcome and let spirit take over. Holmes says, when a problem confronts you, take it to the silence of your consciousness. God does not have problems. Therefore, the divine mind is the answer to every human problem. It is helpful to be open to receive, whether receiving ideas or feedback from others or listening to that still small voice of inner wisdom. There is a gift to receive when we allow something new. The affirmation for today is, I am willing to listen and allow inner guidance. If you want to try saying that together. I am willing to listen and allow inner guidance. Thank you.
Thank you, Anton. Let's give him a hand. Didn't he do a great job? Yeah, I love it. Yeah. I don't have to be alone up here. When Reverend Cindy asked me, she said, well, I think that we'll have Aaron. And here, Anton was here early. And he did a fantastic job. I knew he would. I knew he would. So we're going to just summarize a little bit of what Reverend Cindy said last Sunday, the tail end of it, as we lead into the circles today. So here we are. Oh, first of all, we acknowledge native lands. Don't you love feeling the presence of native people who resided here for thousands of years? And the three particular are the Ocali, the Botano, and the Akua. I'm not saying those correctly, perhaps, but you get it. I have a tree in my backyard. I live out in the Ocala National Forest near Lake Kerr. I can see it out my window. There's a tree that's at least 300 years old in my yard. And I like to think that that was a seedling, perhaps when native people lived beneath it. And so I feel a connection to that. And I don't know which tribe it was. I've tried to do a little research. Timucua came up when I did a little research. If anyone knows anything about the native people that lived here, I would love to have a conversation with you about that. That is very fascinating, and it's appropriate is it not for us to honor them as we come together here or any place within the county, for us to know that we are blessed because of those who came before, even though there isn't a direct connection to the people that we know now. Oh, back one. Got to point it in the right direction. Here we go. You said you'd bear with me and forgive me, right? Remember, you did say that, right? And I'm going to have to look at another screen again because that's too far away. What we teach, and this comes from my heart. I've been studying this philosophy since before most of you were born, since 1970. So here it goes. What we teach, a practical path of spiritual study that unites science, psychology, philosophy, and metaphysics to awaken human potential. Does that speak to you, to hear that? We teach that consciousness is the source of all that is, and that we are expressions of that one life. As we deepen self-awareness and release the illusion of separation, we discover our innate belonging and our power to create lives of meaning, compassion, and shared possibility. And why do we have a circle? Let me ask the circle first. Why do we have a circle? Why are we in a circle? We can see everybody. Anybody? No hierarchy. Okay. Hi, welcome. Join us. E-Man, yes, welcome. Oh, okay. So what is your answer for that? You raised your hand.
When it comes to being in a circle, it can work out or down. Being in a circle it's sort of like being in a spiral. The best part about it is it's a fusion of not just one green or both. It's also a fusion of everybody's activated. For instance, if I sit in a circle, I'll know what everybody's face looks like because everybody will be in front of me. I'll be able to actually connect with the people who are in that area. It won't just be oh, well, I see you, and okay, I know somebody behind me, maybe I should also turn around and listen to them. You're not having to divide your attention. You can give it everything that you have right now.
Yeah. Well, those online probably didn't hear it all, but yeah. Is there anything else you hand him your mic, would you? Are you done?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And of course, we have a slide that goes along with that, and you thought of most of those things. Right? A circle is a structured practice of deep listening and respectful communication that builds empathy, self-awareness, shared leadership, and a culture of trust and belonging. A circle is a symbol of wholeness, unity, oneness, universality, shared power, no hierarchies. All are valued, all are seen and heard. And as you, yes. Do you want to start over so people online can hear you?
It's on the bottom.
When it goes green. Yeah, that wasn't your fault.
In business, they call this a mastermind, and business tables are always circles, but there's a hierarchy. But what they say is, everybody has an opinion, and it's good to hear, no bad ideas. And they also talk about this book here. The guy says our subconscious gets to talk to each other. And let us know stuff that needs to come out in the circle, and that's why I come for this one. This is my favorite of the week, is because this is where we break off and get our subconscious talking together.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and Emerson even says that Jove is nodding to Jove behind our backs. So, spirit is having a communication feast when we're in a circle, isn't it? And for us to know that that's going on as well. Okay, so the format will be the opening, which we've been doing. I'll be doing a little bit of presenting. We have the guidelines for the circle, Then we'll do a brief centering or meditation, and I'll hand out the questions. They're on the screen, but I think I have enough for everybody today. And then we'll do a closing. So if you've been here, is there anyone here who's not been to Circle before? Ah, Rick, okay. Okay, good, yeah. Well, it's an opportunity for you to come on the third Sunday of most months and have something to say and not just listen. And so that's a good thing. And you come specially for that, right? Okay. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about divine doubt. And these are slides from Reverend Cindy's talk last week. It's not fear. It's not overthinking. It's an invitation to pause, to look again, to listen deeper, to protect and redirect. So quite often, divine and doubt have not been put together in the same phrase before for us, have they? But that's the theme for this month for Centers for Spiritual Living at all of our centers that are online with, are in line with the words that we're doing. And the magazine issue this month is about that. And what Anton read was about that too, right? She'd never gone down that particular road because it said it was a dead-end road. And come to find out it wasn't a dead end at all, if you're walking, right? Yeah, so for us to be in that state of mind where we're not overthinking, but we're being invited to look again at what we think we know so well. She thought she knew that walk and that she was complete in it, and someone that was a friend opened her up to a whole new experience, right? Faith, certainty, and divine doubt. Certainty. Now, this is when we think we know it all. If you're certain of something, you're not open to learn something new and hear some ideas. Certainty says, I already know it. I might be shutting down inquiry, or I might stop listening. And it resists any correction. Who's ever been in that place where you think you already know it? How many of you have discovered you didn't already know everything? Okay. So we do relate with that, don't we? Now, divine doubt says, what if there's more that I can see? It keeps us curious. This is a good question. Are you more curious than you used to be? As a child, you were probably curious, but maybe some of that got shut down in your life. And for us to awaken that curiosity is a good thing. It keeps us teachable. That's a wonderful word, teachable, isn't it? Those of us who consider ourselves lifelong learners, we're never going to know it all, are we? We could live through eternity, and I plan to do that, and I don't think I'll still know it all then. And it keeps us open at the top. So this wonderful idea may not have said was divine doubt, but does that kind of fit what we're talking about here? It's guided from infinite wisdom for us to be more open and not just think that our left brain, logical mind, or what we're reading somewhere has all the truth or all the facts even. And now here we come to faith. Faith is the evidence of things not yet seen. It says, I trust life enough to stay open and move forward. So we're inviting something when we talk about faith. We're talking about intuition, aren't we? So let's spend a little bit of time talking about what intuition is. First, one more slide that Cindy had. Fear and faith are the same mental principle. We're using that same sense of knowing, aren't we? Whether we're coming from fear or from faith. Someone who is in fear fears they won't succeed, or that the answer won't be given to them. But if we're coming from faith, then we open ourselves to a possibility. We're also trusting the universe to provide, aren't we, when we're in faith? We're open for God's gifts to come to us even when we can't see the path before us. And so if we are coming from fear, the universe always says yes. And if we fear it's not going to happen, guess what? That's what the universe will provide to us. It's not going to happen, right? But as we open to the possibility and we say, yes, this great good can happen in my life, the universe responds, the law of mind responds to us and says, yes, that great good can happen to you, and here it is. Divine doubt prompts us to listen. I still can't read that, so I got to turn around. And I apologize for turning around, but I can read this one. Divine doubt prompts us to listen and stay open enough for greater truth to evolve. And Ernest Holmes talked about intuition, so let's move into that. Intuition is God in us, revealing to us the realities of being. Just as instinct guides the animal, so would intuition guide us if we would allow it to operate through us. Birds are migrating right now. How do they do that? They have an instinct in them that tells them where to go. The salmon that go upstream, how do they know how to go back to where they were hatched? In nature, there's this thing called instinct. In us, it's called intuition. We trusted in the animals to find their way. Do we trust intuition in our own selves to find our way or to be divinely guided? So if this is what intuition is, it's God revealing to us the realities of being. How do we get better at intuition? To strengthen intuition, and this is Reverend Cindy's slide again from last week, we slow down, we learn our body's language, we get quiet, we be curious instead of certain, and we cultivate self-trust. So let's start with the first one. We slow down. If we've got something before us and we need to be guided divinely, getting quiet helps, doesn't it? Just taking a step back, maybe taking a breath and allowing ourselves to let go of the thing that's before us that seems to be such a challenge, and allowing ourselves to hear what the wisdom of the infinite would say to us. If we've got that monkey mind and it's so busy thinking of stuff, or we're so busy on our phone or watching something as we binge a great show on TV, on our computers, we're allowing our mind to be filled with things that aren't going to be helpful when it comes to our intuition, aren't we? Unless you're like me and you get this word of wisdom from that show that I've been watching. How many of you do that once in a while? It speaks to us sometimes, and there's some shows that have great guidance in them, and some that are even humorous and are a wake-up call. And then our body's language. You know, do you get a feeling sense of something? Feeling is quite often how intuition speaks to us before the words come. We get a sense of this. This is the right thing to do. That's the better thing to do. Kind of like going to the light. We get a sense of what that is. And when we're making big decisions in our lives, I understand Anton just moved back from Seattle. He was divinely guided to be back here so he can be with us today. Isn't that nice of him? Something guided him, and he was listening, right? I see you nodding your head. And that getting quiet is so important. Be curious instead of certain. If we think we know the answer and it's coming from our logical mind or what someone else has taught us, being curious does give us the opportunity, doesn't it, to open up to new possibilities. And then this idea of cultivating self-trust. Remember, fear and certainty shout. Oops, am I doing that? I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't mean to do that. And intuition whispers. But let's come back to this cultivating self-trust. How do we cultivate self-trust? I had an opportunity on Thursday. I was at Walmart. I bought a number of things. I got to the car, and 2 things were under my purse I had not paid for. Now, here I am complaining to myself that prices have gone up, and a part of me said, well, no one saw me take those things. I'm already at my car. What I paid for was far more. One thing that used to cost $17 suddenly is now $21 a bag. My almond flour. It was pricey before. Now it's $21 at Walmart, and I don't know where to get it cheaper. But then I thought, I need to be always cultivating self-trust. I need to always be coming from integrity. If I want Spirit to speak to me, I better speak to myself totally with honesty and integrity. So guess what I did? I took the garlic and the pills back to the store and checked them out and paid $10.95 for this wonderful gift of self-trust. And I feel good about that. Life is always giving us opportunities to prove to ourselves that we say what we mean and we mean what we say, especially when no one else is looking. Plus, it gave me a great story to tell you today. Well, not as good as Reverend Cindy's last week, but a story that speaks to the truth of this idea that if we want to be honing our intuitive skill so that we can trust the guidance of the divine in our lives, one of the things to do is to come on the 31st and hear Reverend Cindy's workshop and participate in this idea of visioning. Visioning as a spiritual practice hones your intuition because you're asking the actual question, what is Spirit's highest idea for this thing in my life? And some other following questions. So that's another way to cultivate this intuition capability, is to expect it from Spirit. You know, we live and move and have our being in divine life. Everybody agree with that? And included in that divine life that we live and move and have our being is wisdom. So wisdom is forever surrounding us and ever available to us. It's up to us to keep the channel clear. And living in integrity is one of the ways that we can be assured we're going to keep that channel clear, to live the authentic life, to live a transparent life. And that's the preacher and Peggy speaking today, and I'm done with that. So let's go to the next slide. Someone used to call me Pastor Peggy that was at this center here. I never really owned that because I like to think I don't preach, but I teach. And yet, when I get on something, Spirit speaks through me in such a way, it does sound a lot like preaching. And this slide I can't read. I don't know why. The way to get rid of fear is through the cultivation of faith. Well, we'll just keep it at that. For some reason, the other line isn't showing. Short and sweet, right. Okay, so we got guidelines for our sharing today. Let's go around the room and let other people read those. Pass the mic down and let people read these guidelines, would you? Thank you. The first one.
First one is mutual respect.
Mm-hmm.
Maintain confidentiality.
Embody brave space.
Be present.
Wait.
Do we know what WAIT stands for?
It's why am I talking? If you're one who likes to talk a lot, or if you're ones like me who are a little more reserved, why aren't I talking?
Okay, thank you. Yes, Elaine.
Be mindful of time.
Remember the other groups.
Use the parking lot if as needed.
Okay, and Haley, do you know what the parking lot, what that statement talks about?
As a former teacher, yes, I do. You throw whatever the question is and you hang on to it until we all get back together, and then if we have time at the end, we'll talk about it.
Okay, yes, so yeah, we won't get sidelined with something that sends us off. Yes, thank you very much.
I want to keep it.
Okay. Oh, let's keep passing it around. I'm sorry. What the circle is not for. Yes, pass it to you. Yeah. The circle is not for.
Circle is not for lecturing, persuasion, giving advice, and therapy.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's get ready and turn within for a moment, shall we? I just invite us all to find that place of centered awareness. We are about to embark on a journey that is a wondrous spiritual practice of circle. We are ready to be heard, and we are ready to listen. We know that Spirit speaks through us, that the experiences that we choose to share are sacred experiences that others need to hear about, and that our listening is deep listening, where we give the gift of our ear and our mind as we listen to others in our group. Circle Sunday is a time for spiritual practice, for us to be who we truly are and speak from that place of authentic, centered awareness. I do give thanks for each person here today, for each carries a lifetime of wisdom with them. And that is invited during our time together in circle, for that to come forth, to not just bless our own lives, but to bless the lives of those with whom we share our circle. I know this is a very holy time. It's a time of great joy and deep love. It's a time of wisdom and of divine activity. And as we breathe into this moment, we prepare ourselves to both be givers of gifts and receivers of gifts. For what can be a greater gift than our giving ourselves and receiving the selves that we share our circle with? I do give thanks that this is so, and so it is. So the guidelines are on one side and the questions are on the other side. And they're also on the screen as soon as I push the button. There they are. So the first question is, where in your life are you currently being asked to live without certainty? I think I have enough for everybody. I believe I do. And the second question is, have you ever experienced a moment of divine doubt? A pause, a nudge, hesitation, or inner knowing that ultimately guided or protected you? And the third question is, what if faith is not certainty about outcomes, but trusting that life is guiding us as needed? And that's a two-part question. And the second part is, how might we grow in our skill or capacity for divine guidance? So with a group this size, what numbers do we usually count to? You do groups of five people. Okay. Are you counting me? You're counting me, so I get to be in the group. Okay, so let's count up to 5. Anton, you're 1. Four, and Rich is 5. Okay, so who wants to be the leaders of group 1? You only had one number to remember. Well, why don't you just get together? All the 1s get together in one spot, and the 2s and the 3s and the 4s and the 5s, and the 5s are here. One's want to go outside. Fives, yeah. We might go somewhere, but we're here now.
How about threes go and head into the bookstore? We'll need to bring a couple chairs.
See, I knew you know how to do this.